What's up, guys? Welcome back. Episode 12, the Enlisted Real Estate Podcast with the lovely Brian Baker.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
I am Richie Fortunato, and today we have our special guest, Adela Crews. How you doing?
Thank you. Hello.
She is the superstar. Yes. She is a superstar new home counselor at Park Square Homes in Compass Landing in DeLand, Florida. Selling out the homes faster than
Orange City.
the coronavirus is being spread. What's that?
Orange City, but that's fine.
Orange City? I don't know the difference.
Hopefully her buyers don't know the difference either, you know.
Yeah. Listen, if it's not in my circle, I don't know. So.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. You are selling them out pretty fast though, aren't you?
No, we're doing well. We're still in phase one. We've been open officially since last October. So phase one's almost sold out. So not bad.
That's good. Mm-hmm. When are you going to start the next phase?
Good question.
Oh, how many homes do you have left?
Let's see. We have in phase one, we still have about 10 home sites left. So.
Of how many?
74.
You've only been open for like 3 months.
Okay, October from now is more than 3 months, but we're going to let it slide because we're in quarantine.
Fair. It's all starting to blend together in all fairness, right?
Basic skills, math, reading, these things are starting to dwindle.
Out the
we're
window.
Teaching our kids.
So it's only like really 6 months. 60 homes in 6 months. That's not bad.
Well, I'm thinking also like available home sites too, because we do some inventory, but I mean, overall.
Yeah. So, where we're going to start off with you today. We're taking this. How about this?
Did you want to start with your cameo, end with your cameo? Because he's floating around the kitchen.
Oh, Rick, we got Rick there?
Yeah, you do.
So for everybody who doesn't
know,
so if everybody doesn't know, Adela and Rick's her husband. He works for another builder, a competitor. So what's that? Do you guys have a competition in the house?
Would you say we have a competition, Rick?
Damn, look at those arms. Holy shit.
It is competitive, but she's been beating me lately, man.
She has?
Yeah. I left Lori at Park and started a new community out in it's about 10 minutes away off in Narcoossee called Sunbrook. And unfortunately, since the pandemic, traffic has been pretty dismal, even for the area. It's priced well, and I think it just needs to, being brand new, it's going to take a little bit, but.
We're at on Narcoossee.
So it's off of Jones Road.
Okay. So I St. Cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly where it's at. We used to have a community.
Yeah, you can't beat the pricing and the taxes out there compared to Laureate Park So
if you're wanting the Lake Nona feel, but you don't, you can be still basically in Lake Nona, but pay less.
Absolutely, yeah. Once traffic has been picking up virtually, but as far as like face to face, it's been a little rough.
Yeah, that'll come out.
Yeah.
You start beating her. Don't let Adela get a big head.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got to get a chair because she didn't bring me one over here.
You're not invited for the whole thing. It was just a cameo.
Oh man, could you ever be his partner? Could you guys be partners?
Huh?
Could you guys be work partners?
Could we be work partners?
Yeah.
I don't think that'd be that bad.
We could.
I think we could.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing is we wouldn't see each other, right? Because we'd have to work opposite days.
Oh, yeah.
That takes a whole nother concept to a competitive floor versus a shared floor. That's a combo of the both.
Exactly. I mean, you really can't lose in that type of situation. So why not?
Run into an issue with your partner. Yeah, well, hey, listen, you got before hours and after hours. Exactly.
Quality time.
We don't work 24 hours a day. It's like 18.
Right.
So do you guys get a good work-life balance? Because there's a lot, like your days off, you're still working. A lot of times people are calling you. So you got both of you doing the same job.
I would say when you're looking at it, is it a blessing or a curse that you're in the same industry? You know, I think that the positives of it are that we understand, you know, a lot of the problems. So when you come home with a problem or you want to work through something, you do have somebody that's familiar with what you do, that you can work through getting over an objection or, you know, deciding how to handle a situation at work. So I think that's a huge plus of being in the industry. And then on the other side of that, you know, this can be a stressful field. So sometimes some person's having a great, you know, patch at work and somebody's having a rough time, and then you do bring that home. So while you do have a little bit more understanding of what that person's going through, I mean, sometimes your emotions can be in two different places. So, you know, it has its pros and its cons, I mean, as everything does. So, but I definitely think you have more understanding, and you can have a little bit more compassion for what your partner does. Where I think sometimes if they're not in the business and they think all you just do is you sit in an office and somebody walks in and you're trying to sell homes, like there's so much paperwork, there's so much stress, like there's so much additional, you know, things that you do in this role that at least they know what you're going through.
It's good because sometimes you have to like last minute go show a house on your day off.
Yeah.
Which I'm not a fan of, but
yeah, I know you're not a fan of it.
It never works out. When you have to come in on your day off, it never works out. Or if they do buy, for some reason, it always cancels.
Thank you.
Yep.
Rick's yelling out, "Thank you," but yeah. I completely disagree with you.
So, and I think I actually got this from you, Richie, because that was always my rule was if it's my day off, I'm not going in. You know, if you really want to buy the house, you can see me in a day or two, right? Mm. But then it's sales and we were 100% commissions, and it's like, so I don't always or even often hold true to that, unfortunately for my family. But, you know, so I come in. You're right. You'll come in thinking you got a contract. You're like, hey, it's an hour. I'm going to go in and write. Next thing you know is you're here for 5 hours. And, and then a lot of times it cancels.
Sorry, Rick wants to take a moment back because Rick is on Team Richie. I'm on Team Brian.
Yeah, I did that for the first like 3 years, and then
he's gonna take the whole camera from me. Excuse me.
You know, and you know, I can see both sides. My partner right now does that. He'll go in on his day off, but I feel if you're interested enough, you'll come when I'm there.
Yeah.
But I will make I have made exceptions, and I will if it's a really hot buyer. You know how you can, after a while, you can feel it, you know, and I will make exceptions. I typically will try to get them the DocuSign and sell them over the phone to where I don't have to go in. But if I do, I will. That's about 5% of the time, though.
Yeah. There are times where I do it still, but you know who's going to sign and who's. If it's somebody calling me up, like a realtor, like, hey, they want to come see the house. Like, listen, come tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it's somebody you've been working with, and like in Orlando, a lot of people are out of town buyers. It's like, hey, listen, they're leaving tomorrow. We only have today. Well, I know they're going to buy. I'm not wasting my time. I'm going to go in, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm lucky. I only live 15 minutes from my community, so it makes it even easier.
And I think that makes a difference for Rick too. I think that because he's about an hour away from his community, that he does have to be a little bit more, okay, am I going? Are they even going to show up when I get there? So that's where you kind of have to play, okay, is this worth going in for? Me, I live a little bit closer. I have lived closer to where I work, but same thing. At the beginning, when I first started in the industry, I'd go in anytime, any place. Anybody that called, I was going. And then after getting burned quite a few times and people just not showing up or not being there, you'll teach yourself to kind of get those signals, okay, this is worth going in for. This is not going in for. This is something I could push, you know, one more day until I'm back in the office. But I mean, I had a situation a couple of weeks ago. I went in all my days off, but I wrote 3 sales on all those days off. So it's just coming to learn when is it worth it to take that separate time, you know, take away from your personal to go in for work, because it's going to be worth it.
Yeah. I think it depends on your partner too. Because there's been partners I've had where I'm like, listen, go in, Brian's going to be there. He'll take care of you, you know?
That has a huge impact. And I think Rick has a great partnership too, I think that they have a great relationship. So you can have a little bit more flexibility there, you know, but unfortunately some people, you know, you're not in that position, and you're going to have to make that drive over there.
Yeah.
That's right.
I've been in both, and being in the bad position is not fun.
Yeah.
Having a good partner is essential, but sometimes you don't have the luxury of.
You don't have the choice. You don't get to choose who your partner is.
So what's a good partner to you guys?
Somebody you can trust, somebody that you know is not going to steal from you. Like for instance, with me, if my partner, if one of his buyers comes in and has questions, or if they need to sign something, or if they're coming in and they're on the fence, I'll help them out, you know, even if it's not my deal and I'm not going to get paid on it. I'm going to work it like it's mine, while keeping boundaries. Like I refrain from answering questions that could potentially kill the deal, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't want to blow Richie's head up any more than it already is. It can barely fit in that hat that he has on his head, but
that's just the hair. It's just the hair's growing out so much.
Or is it the hair? There's, again, going back to this job can be so stressful that I don't think that people understand how important it is to be a trusting partner, a fair partner, because there's such a comfort in that away from the office that really comes in handy when you have all the other stresses of the job. You know, it's a nice feeling to be away from the office and know that there's nothing to worry about. Or even when you're in the office, that you're not looking over your shoulders and you're not trying to document every single thing that you do because somebody's going to pick it apart and try to take a sale. You know, it's a good lesson for anybody that's out there, that if you're not a good partner, or if you're getting the sense that people don't like to work with you, what can you do better? Because at the end of the day, it's good for everybody, because there is that added comfort at home to be away from the office and truly be away. So that's really,
I think a lot of those
I always had that with Richie. Like Richie and I were great at, even if somebody wasn't in the system, but they came in and they said they saw Richie, because maybe Richie's not the best at paperwork.
That's not a lie at all.
Which, hey, maybe I'm not either. Maybe I'm not 100% as, hopefully my boss isn't listening. Maybe I'm not 100% as when those reg cars, they might sit there for a couple days, because I'm more of a one-on-one. I like to call people, text them, I'm more personable, and Richie was like that too. So we had a great partnership. And at the end of the day, we trusted each other. It was a safe place. I never had to look over my shoulder. Is he going to steal something from me? Is he trying to do something behind my back? And, but you don't always get that. So when you have it, appreciate it, and then you just got to work through the rest.
Yeah. Sometimes those bad partners, they don't care. You mentioned learn from it and be a better partner if nobody likes you, but so some that I've seen.
Money trumps, unfortunately.
Yeah.
People are different. Like, there's people that are horrible partners, but are good people outside of work.
Oh, of course.
When money comes to it, some people just,
They're
throw
different.
everything out. Everything goes out the window. And it's sad, but it's just something in our industry and in the sales industry and whole that you unfortunately have to deal with. To me, money's not worth your happiness or your peace of mind. Not worth it. If you're going to steal a deal from me, okay, well, it's going to happen right back to you again. I believe in karma.
Oh, I'm a huge karma person, but that's because a lot of things like that will affect me. I could never take anything from anybody else. I could never go, behind somebody's back or do anything that's not with integrity, because it's just not who I am. But like he said, some people, they're great people outside of the sales office, but once they see a dollar sign, they do things a little bit differently than maybe you would do it. And you can't control that. You just have to react to it, and you just have to hope in the future it all works out for you.
When you have a bad partner like that too, it's hard not to, that really affects the personal life, you know, and with both of you being in the same industry, if, you know, God forbid you both have a bad, you know, run with bad partners, I can only imagine the household energy and how negative it would probably feel coming home with that.
Man, you know,
I mean, in the past, yeah, I mean, maybe one of us has worked with somebody that hasn't been the best, and it takes a toll on the other person too. So
you come home in a bad mood and you stay in a bad mood, you know, because you're constantly, you're at work more than you are pretty much at home. And it takes a toll on you mentally. You try to, me personally, I would try to find avenues to just make the situation better and fix it. But there's sometimes you can't fix things, and it is what it is. And it takes a toll. But
yeah, I think I've been pretty lucky. All my partners have been pretty good.
mm-hmm.
So, and the ones that didn't like working with me usually quit.
Yeah.
I think they quit just because they get. So I've had literally this happen where they just quit because it's out more. I think more out of jealousy, like sales. So.
Well, here's the thing: if you work with Richie, you have to have a give and take. I was thrilled having Richie as my partner.
First of all,
eventually, I had to get over the fact he's always going to sell more homes than me every single month, no matter what I do. And then I just became okay with it.
So once
you get over that hump, then everything is back to being, like rainbows and butterflies.
How many partners did you go through before I got there?
Oh, only 2.
2?
Listen, one wasn't my fault. He took a nap on the desk. That was not my fault.
Like really literally took a nap.
Put his feet on top of the desk and took a nap. And really, is that my fault?
Interesting.
That person is no longer with us.
So when I got there, Dana's like, we're going to put you in Verona, right? So I go check it out. I'm like excited. I'm all excited because it's close to my house. And then she's like, listen, we changed our mind. We have this girl, Adela, who is just going through partners like Tootsie Rolls.
Oh, whatever.
So we're going to put you in Sanford. And I'm like, really? Like, all right. But it was a good decision.
I didn't go through partners. Like, this is now a rumor that has been going on for years. One fell asleep on a desk. So that is a pass. That has nothing to do with me.
And he took your desk.
He took my desk too. It was my desk, and he just decided that was going to be his desk, and he took a nap on it.
So,
I mean, what can I do?
Yeah. Well, you fired him.
And then, so he's no longer with us. Or gets fired. Sounds better.
Yeah.
Richie, what was your thought process? Dana says, hey, this girl, she is, running through these new stone sales consultants here. I'm going to put you with her. What's going through your head at this point? Like, what are you doing to me?
I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, I doubt he even gave another thought to it.
Yeah. I never worried about my partners because I was going to do my thing. I'm going to help them out. So I want them I actually want my partner to sell a lot because then it makes the community sell faster and it creates more urgency for everybody else to buy. Mm-hmm. So I think it helps me, in the same.
Yeah.
So, and then I always try to outsell everybody. So.
Well, plus it's nice when you have a good working relationship and you interject on each other's sales. So we had a good working relationship. People can feel that when they're walking through the door. And, both having a sense of humor, he's talking to somebody, I'd make my jokes. I'm talking to somebody, he'd make his jokes. So you really feel the energy and, a partnership, and people get even more comfortable where they're at. And, our company, I don't know if you ever mentioned where we work, but our company has that type of feel. It has a family feel to it. So it's nice to walk into a builder that already gives you, hey, listen, we're a family. This is what we represent. And then also feeling that in the sales office and the way that the partners are interacting. So it kind of just reinforces the message that we're trying to get across.
Yeah, it helps.
Yeah. Energy in the sales office is huge.
Yeah.
That'll make or break a deal, in my opinion, 100%.
they can feel when there is tension between, you know, the community sales managers. Definitely, they can feel it. The buyers can feel it, and it will affect things.
I think they must have been trapped when they walked into our model, Brian. They had to walk into our model and be like, why the hell did I walk into this office?
I miss that office though, because we used to have people like they would try to avoid coming in, you know, the trap door, right, where they go through, and they would literally jump over the bushes and try to like sneak to the front door. Like we don't have like the alarm that dings off on, you know, and lets us know, and then we, you know, come flying in the, whoa, what did I do? You know, did I offend you? I'm not throwing my shoe at you, and, you know, just give them a hard time. You know, put them on the spot.
You can come talk to us. We only bite on Wednesdays, you know?
Yeah.
So Adela and Brian have sort of the same aspirations. You both want to be sales managers? Actually,
Yes.
let me start. Let me go back. Is this story real? Were you discovered at a Mac counter by Dana Wheaton?
I wasn't discovered like a movie star is discovered having a milkshake somewhere, but I worked for Mac, and I was actually going back to school. Rick likes to take credit for the fact that I'm in real estate. I have another girlfriend that would also like to take credit for me being in real estate, so that's their argument, whatever. But I did get my real estate license. I was working for Mac. I started off in general. I was working for Redfin, which I really did love. And then I was trying to get on with the builder. You know, Rick was working for a home builder. His mother-in-law worked for a home builder. It's kind of just what I wanted. I'm sorry, my mother-in-law, his mother, wanted or was working for a home builder. So it was something that I wanted to do, but it was really hard to get into. I mean, it was really hard to get into. I had a few interviews with some big builders, and, you know, you score really well on their test and you have some sales experience in general, so they kind of give you a shot. But every interview I went into, because I was a Mac girl, didn't matter that I, you know, had met all my numbers. I was one of their top salespeople. I was on their impact team, which is a training team that goes out to events to increase the sales for those events. I could not get treated seriously. In literally one interview, I was sitting at a table with 3 women, and instead of asking me any question related to home building or how I was going to make it in new home sales, they asked me if I'd be able to teach them how to do makeup. Wow. So I was feeling just very defeated that I was never going to get on with the builder, that nobody was going to take me seriously. And I drove by Windsor Square, which had nothing on it. It was just a sign for Park Square Homes, because I used to drive by that on my way to go to Mac. And I said, you know what? I have a feeling I'm going to work for Park Square Homes. And applied, got a call from Dana, set up an interview at Starbucks. And she was amazing. I mean, she just had such a great energy. And she goes, let me tell you something. I don't normally, you know, hire or interview people that don't have, you know, new home sales experience. But when I saw that you could sell Mac makeup in Sanford, I was like, I got to interview this girl. And she just did. She had a great energy. She was so positive. She really saw potential in me, and she gave me a shot. And I didn't get hired right away. I think I called her for 3 months, once a week, because I was so obsessed with working there. Like, I even stopped interviewing other people. Like, I told myself, I'm going to work at this company. Like, something is telling me I'm going to work at this company, and I'm going to work for this woman, because I literally fell like in love with her. I'm like, I'm going to work with her. It's just going to happen. Like, whatever I got to put out there. I mean, I even remember I was doing a 3D Matterport tour for a home that was going to be listed. And when she gave me a phone call saying I was hired, like, I almost lost my mind. I almost dropped the camera. You know, I almost left the listing. I was ready to go. I'll start today.
That's awesome.
So sometimes it can take a while, you know, and when you're just getting your license, and I worked for Redfin for over a year. So I did have some now real estate experience, but still, it was pretty difficult. Had she not given me that chance, I don't know when or at what point I would have been on with the home builder.
That's great. It's because it's like my story. It's the same thing. Nobody would hire me. It took me forever to get in. So it's great that you and I did the same thing. I interviewed at Beezer and they turned me down. It was like a week later. I emailed the VP. I'm like, word on the street is you're hiring again, and or you're still hiring. And she's like, come on back. And then I did the same thing. I'm like, just give me a freaking chance, man. Like,
I know. I think I told her the same. I said, listen, I'll start wherever you want me to be a floater. You want me to just go take notes? You want me to hand out pamphlets? Like, I'll show you I can do this. I did it. You know, I didn't have sales experience going into MAC. You know, I was just a shopper there that one day one of the managers was like, you know what, you'd be really great working here. And I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. And, you know, same thing. I had somebody that coached me, that saw potential in me and, you know, got me to where I wanted to be there, but it just wasn't ultimately what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So when you have those people behind you that will support you, you know, you can make it happen.
One of my favorite books is Johnny Bunko, which is it's only like, did you read it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I thought I gave it to you. So it's just basically like a comic strip book. You can read it in an hour, but it's like 5 lessons. One of them is persistence trumps talent. And because I'm not very talented at this job. Just keep doing it. All you have to do is be persistent and follow up, and you're going to sell houses. So it's not that difficult. So, but now, so you've only been doing this, what, 3 years?
So yes, I've been doing new home sales now for 3 years. And then, like I said, I worked for Redfin for a year. So 4 years now in the industry.
So now you want to be a manager?
Yes.
Like Brian.
I mean, I think that was always my goal going in. I mean, I've always been a trainer in some capacity for everywhere that I've worked. Mm-hmm. But I knew it was important that I do sales for several years because I didn't want to be one of those cliches that people that don't or are not well at sales become managers.
Those who can't teach.
Exactly. So I said, you know, I'm not going to shoot for that right away. I want to have a few years where I can show, listen, this girl can do sales. She can, you know, make her goals. Like she can do it, because I don't think you can teach anybody something that you haven't experienced, you know, and you know, you have to have that, not to say that some people lose it, because I haven't been in that position yet, but you know, sometimes you're in management for a few years, you forget what it was like, you know, to be on the other side. And, you know, I just always want to keep that, you know, relatability, you know, understanding. You want to have your business side of it, but you want to see the big picture. Right. And I think I've always been like that. I think I'm a big picture person. And, you know, it doesn't matter to me to make less money, because in sales, your money's unlimited. You're only limited by what you do. But to me, it means more to motivate others and see where we can go together as a team. And I think that's what I look forward to.
So now when you finally do become a manager and you're doing the hiring, mm-hmm. What are you going to look for?
And see, that's the difference too. I don't think I'm going to have these boxes that I check, that if they don't have this and they don't have that, because you can see what happens when sometimes you step out of that comfort zone and you know, somebody that just might have it, you know, somebody saw something in you and, you know, they're like, you know what, we're going to give them a chance. Dana saw something in me. We're going to give her a chance. And I think that when you give people that chance, they don't want to let you down. It's almost like every day that I go to work, even now it's been 3 years later, I always tell myself, you're going to do this, you're going to hit this goal, you're going to hit this number, you're going to do this well, because I don't want to let her down. You know, she gave me that shot. I'm not going to just throw it all away. So I think people find a gratefulness when you give them a chance.
Oh, yeah. Get a loyalty too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, Brian wants to be a manager too, right?
Manager, CEO, same difference, you know.
Yeah. So why do you want to be a manager?
So mine is, I enjoy teaching, first of all, like sharing knowledge and everything that you have. So I enjoy that part, building a successful team and kind of helping figure out how to make things better and just grow, right? So I love that concept, and that's kind of where my drive comes from. And then just being able to move up and learn different aspects of the industry and the business, and figure out how to bring my experience and my knowledge into those parts and continue to grow it, and just teach what I know at those levels as I continue to move up. So
yeah, and I mean, you have to be an innovator. I mean, in our age group, however you want to put it, you're the next step. So essentially we're the people that bring home building into a different place, and we can see how quickly things can change. So if you've been doing the same thing for X amount of years, and now something like this happens, now we've all had to change the style in which we sell or advertise or show homes. And you need to have that innovation, those fresh ideas too. So I think that's important.
Yeah.
This is a prime example of that,
Mm-hmm.
Well, Adela's gonna be doing her own soon. When do you start your podcast? So if you didn't know this, Brian, Adela's gonna be a superstar podcaster.
Hey.
She'll be starting Champagne Thoughts.
Champagne Thoughts.
I like it.
So
we're gonna see that.
When you want to learn something, you'll listen to your podcast. When you don't want to learn something, and you just want to know that maybe there's some other terrible people out there like you'll listen to mine.
I'll try to get. I was gonna steal your name. I was trying to get Ginger to do one. Because usually when we start drinking, it's always we start talking about politics. So we're gonna call it Champagne Politics. But I was gonna steal your trademark. Name. You can't trademark it. So,
I'll file the paperwork later today.
That would be good. But well, I think we're running out of time here, unfortunately.
Yes.
So
am I your first second-time guest?
You are a second-time guest.
I mean,
I don't know if we count the first one because it was like 4 of us. We had 2 on that time.
Hey, that was still her first time.
Yeah.
It was still my first time. I mean, I was invited back. So, I mean, I don't want to take anything away from your others, but.
Listen, that right there is a social media post. I'm just saying I was invited back twice.
I don't want to say, we're just giving the people what they want, but do they want it? Possibly.
There was an encore.
You're in demand. We had a lot of comments.
Oh, you did?
No.
Well, highs and lows today. Highs and the roses and the thorns.
It's the military. You build them up, you break them down.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that today.
That's what you do.
That's how you get tougher.
Well, thank you guys.
Thanks for coming on, especially short notice.
Yep, appreciate it.
And shockingly available, throughout this time. So
hopefully to make you late for your phone appointment today.
No, yes, I did. I will. I have just enough time.
Okay, good.
Perfect.
I got to get in. I got one at 11 today.
Sweet.
All right. Well, good luck, guys. Stay safe and make sales.
That's right, guys. Check us out. Check out Brian's sexy face on YouTube. If you think he's as hot as I am, or if you think Brian's as hot as I do, give him a thumbs up.
Yeah, give me a thumbs up. They're limited right now. I want to see those thumbs outweigh the views. So
yeah,
keep them coming.
You want to see Rick come back on? Give us a little comments and bring back Rick.
There you go.
Yeah, definitely. I'm his agent, so I can schedule him. He's on the phone now trying to make sales, so go figure.
Always.
Perfect.
All right, guys. Well, check us out on wherever you get your podcast. And hopefully we'll see you next time.
So Rick's going to say goodbye.
Oh.
What's a podcast? So say something.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
If they're on, there you go. Yeah, some of these are on iTunes. They're like, what?
My goodness gracious. Thanks, guys.
Cool. Thanks. Have a good one, guys.
Have a great